All right, baseball fans, it's your favorite David Peterson fan over here in Ram, ready to give you a preview of today's MLB slate on a beautiful June 12th, 2025. Let's get right into it. First game of the day are my lovely New York Mets taking on the Washington Nationals. The Mets at 110, who are winners of their last five, are looking to sweep the Washington Nationals after a brilliant complete game shutout performance from David Peterson last night. No easy task awaits the Nationals, however, as they are now facing the NL's ERA leader in Kodai Senga. And Senga's 1.59 ERA is going to look to continue his case towards a Cy Young bid as the Mets again try to sweep the Washington Nationals. The Nationals are throwing out Mike Soroka. Now, Senga's ERA case has been helped by facing the Rockies in two straight games, admittedly, and going against Soroka probably won't be an easy challenge. Soroka had a good start his last time out against the Texas Rangers, where he threw out six scoreless with 7 Ks. However, in 10 June games, the Mets have the top two qualified hitters in OPS with, you guessed it, Juan Soto and Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso has a staggering 20 runs batted in 10 games so far. That's an astonishing pace, and happy to say he's one of ours. But moving past my homerism, also at 110 Eastern, the Texas Rangers are looking to rebound themselves after David Festa rebounded against them, and they're looking to take the rubber match in the series with the Twins by throwing out Patrick Corbin. Surprisingly, Corbin has not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any of his starts this season, which has kind of turned out to be a resurgence for the 35-year-old. The Twins are throwing out Bailey Ober to counter. After a win yesterday and the Tigers' loss, the Twins remain 7 games behind the league leading Tigers for the division lead. So they're looking for any type of momentum they can get. Speaking of momentum, let's talk about the San Francisco Giants, who at 310 Eastern are throwing out Hayden Birdsong against Antonio Senzatella. Now, what type of leash is Hayden Birdsong going to get against the lowly Rockies? He's looking to prove himself as a long-term starter. The Giants are looking to tie the Los Angeles Dodgers for the division lead with a win against the aforementioned Rockies. They're trying to give Antonio Senzatella his 11th loss of the season. He's already lost 10, so he's on pace for a dreaded 20-loss season. 10 losses through halfway through June is not a good look. Now, Birdsong hasn't gone past 5 1/3 this year so far, and this might be his best shot to kind of go past that. So we'll see what happens as the Rockies have coughed up leads in both of the games so far in this series for the suddenly hitting Giants. They're finding their offense again. Willie Adams, who had struggled so much leading into the series, has homered in both of the games here in Colorado. Hunter Goodman on the other side for the Rockies has been staying hot. His June OPS of 1309 is third best in the majors, behind, of course, as I mentioned, Juan Soto and Pete Alonso. Now, going further down the list at 6:35 to start the evening games, perennial Cy Young contender Tariq Skubal is going out there for the MLB's best Tigers. They're looking for the series win behind him. Now, Skubal's only allowed 1 run over his last 3 starts, spanning 23 and 2/3 innings, so he's in midseason form and absolutely making another case to run for the Cy Young over there. Dean Kremer's on the mound for the hometown O's. Adley Rutschman has looked a little bit more like himself in June with the 1089 OPS, but the Orioles are still at the basement of the AL East, so they're looking for any signs of life over there. Now, what I think is the biggest story of the day, as mentioned in the headline, would be Jacob Mizorowski being called up for the Milwaukee Brewers, making his MLB and home debut for the Milwaukee Brewers at 7:40 Eastern. They're in a virtual tie for second place in that division in the NL Central, the Cardinals and the Brewers. So they're obviously still looking for a little bit of juice and figuring out what they can get. Fireballing right-hander and Jacob Mizorowski is a very exciting prospect. Many people have been looking forward to that for a long time. He's going to be countered on the St. Louis side by Sonny Gray. So this promises to be a good pitching matchup, and we'll see what we can get out of the rookie being able to make it under the lights in Milwaukee for his debut. It's got to be a fun feeling for the Brewers fans over there. Speaking of fun feelings and things that I probably don't want to talk about, but also at 7:40 Eastern, the Yankees are taking on the Royals after winning 2 so far against them. They've solved the so far strong seasons from Bubic and Cameron by taking care of both of them. Didn't really look like they had much issue with either of them going on, so they're looking to get the sweep as Will Warren faces Seth Lugo. Lugo hasn't looked anywhere as sharp as he did in his outstanding 2024, but he's still going to pose a challenge for the Yankees. On the Yankees offense side, Judge has homered in three straight, and his 25 home runs are only one behind Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, for the MLB lead. Speaking of home runs, the Pirates, who were taking on the Chicago Cubs in Chicago at 8:05, saw Andrew McCutchen homer and pass Roberto Clemente for third all time in Pirates history yesterday. They're going to look to build any kind of momentum that they can against the division leading Chi-Town Cubs. Now, the Cubs are coming off a loss yesterday against Luzardo, who figured it out, but they still have June standouts Ian Happ and Michael Bush, some of the best hitters in the month so far. They're throwing out Jamison Tyone, who's seeking his sixth straight quality start and hopefully a win for the Cubs on their department. The Pirates are countering with Andrew Haney, his ERA at 3.24. Two pitchers that I think are very underrated this year, both in Haney and in Tylone. So we might get a surprisingly interesting pitching matchup out of that. Now, across to the other Chicago team who's in Houston and finishing up the series, Chicago White Sox and Houston will round up the end of tomorrow's slate at 8:10 p.m. with Davis Martin versus Framber Valdez. Now, after a slow start to the season, Valdez has gone back to dominating hitters to the tune of six straight quality starts. Houston has won all six of those games. Mixed in amongst those games was a complete game win against the Rays, and in four out of those six games, he's allowed just one run. The Sox, however, are countering with a guy that I love in Davis Martin, who's quietly pitched to a good season. Fun fact, Davis Martin employs the kick change, which is used by Met starters Clay Holmes, Griffin Canning, and Tyler McGill. It's also used by another guy starting today in Hayden Birdsong, and it's led them to some success. So I'm always happy to see Davis Martin go out there and do his thing. But that'll conclude what's going on for the day. Outside of Mizorowski, let me know below in the comments if there's anything that you think I missed or there's something else you're excited about. I'm always looking for feedback, always looking to have a conversation about baseball. You know where to find us. Happy to talk to you on behalf of the best damn sports baseball. This is Ram signing off for the day. Enjoy your Thursday baseball.